Okay, we're gonna make some Cool Kong summer recipes. I'm using the Honest Kitchen dehydrated food called Love. I like it because it's grain-free, gluten-free, and has some fruits and vegetables in it. It does have beef, so some dogs aren't tolerant to beef. If you don't know if your dog is or not, you may have to find out. A lot of dogs are, I'm just saying. I like this one the best. So, this is how it works. I have my big Kong empty, cleaned out. You add, the way I do it is I make some of this ahead of time. You fill a cup, put it in here. Make however much you want. You can put it in the refrigerator and feed it later. But see, it's just kind of a dry, powdery, it's real stinky. The dogs love it, and it's really healthy. Okay, later. And then you add warm water to it. Now I'll let the water get warm. What I add first is I add dry dog food in the bottom so that this doesn't stick, because the dogs sometimes their tongue can't reach the bottom and it sticks real bad. So you can still do that. I just like to add the dry. So I layer the dry depending on the size of the dog. This one is for my pit bull. So I'm probably going to put about this much food, maybe this much, and I just eyeball it. That's going to be a mess. Now if you want it just for a snack, just don't put that much, but if this is their actual meal, which is what I recommend. A lot of people only do this for treats. They put peanut butter or something like that, which is okay, but I prefer that you use it as the meal because your dog is more likely to get into it. If you use it just for treats, they'll give up on it faster because they know they're going to get their food later. So in an easy way, usually because you put the food in a bowl and it's not as difficult to get out, but I make this where they have to work to get their food out. So that's why I prefer using this as a alternate bowl for the dog. Okay, now we're gonna mix the water in here. You put the warm water in, stir it up, and then I think you let it sit for 5 minutes. Just let it get nice and moist. And see, it's kind of a glop. This makes great, because it is so healthy, and it also makes a great Kong stuffing because it's nice and mushy. This is what I'm going to make, one that I call my Kong sickle, because I make it like a popsicle. I use these, and it usually takes anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes to an hour, depending on the dog, to eat all of this. So, because it's frozen, it takes a lot longer, and they have a lot of fun doing it. So, mix that up. Then, so I have my food. I know you can't see it real well because it's dark, but there's food in there. It's probably up to there. And then I'm just gonna fill this in here. Because this is gonna be a full meal, then I'm gonna fill it up. If you're not sure how much to give your dog, you need to measure it out, because you don't need to get your dog fat. Too many people have overweight dogs and they don't even realize it. Now, I try to leave a little bit, like an inch at the top, because what I'm going to do then is the popsicle part, which is the stick, which is a rawhide twist. It's a roll. Make sure that any rawhide or any treats that anything you're giving your dog these days, you just stuff it in there. Actually, I can probably put a little more of this in there. Make it, sometimes if you make it full, it's better because then it can kind of squeeze out. Then your dogs can, so I stuff that in there. And then, she's waiting patiently. We go to the freezer. And I let it freeze overnight. And tomorrow she will have breakfast, or a few hours, and she can have dinner because it's early in the day right now. So we have dry kibble, dehydrated food, rawhide rolls to stick in there. You can also use, if you don't want to use a rawhide roll, I like the rawhide roll because they eat the food around it and then they have the rawhide to chew on, so it makes them extra tired because they have to do a lot of work with their mouth. You can also use a big milk bone. I usually get oversized ones so it kind of sticks out far. The medium size are good because they're real long. So I do like the milk bones, which are cheap. This box right here was $1.25 at Target. So very inexpensive. And then of course I have more rawhide rolls. Now what I want to show you about these. It says American beef hide. I want you to be sure you turn it over and you read. And it says product of USA. You need to make sure that it's made in the USA and not from China. Any treats from China are bad these days. So I don't know if they've ever been good, but anyway. So there is your Kongsicle, and have fun with the summer.